A famous question that's always asked on this week's Parsha, Parshas Yisro, is who was the first person to ever say Baruch Hashem?
Moshe.
So we would say Moshe, we would say Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. We'd give all kinds of, call it holy answers like that. The first person to say Baruch Hashem, as the answer in this week's Parsha, is Yisro. A non-Jew says, Baruch Hashem, thank God. What's the story? The story is that, as the Parsha begins, that Yisro hears about all the wonders that have happened to the Jewish people, and he says, Baruch Hashem, thank God, Asher Yitzil Eschem, who saved you from the hands of Pharaoh and from the hands of Egypt. So that's a normal answer. But the truth is that it wasn't Yisro who was the first one to say it. Who was the first one to say it? The Torah has the story in Parshas Lech Lecha, and it says that after Avraham went out in battle to rescue his nephew Lot, and the story of the 4 kings and the 5 kings, and it says Melchizedek, the king of Shalem, brought out bread and wine, and he was a priest to the God of High. Vayomer, and he says, Baruch Avram lekel yom konei shemayim v'oretz. Blessed is Avram to God on high, who created heaven and earth. Ubaruch kel yon Hashem migein tzarecha biyodecha. And blessed is the Most High God. So in other words, it wasn't the non-Jew Yisro who was the first one to say it. It was
the non-Jew Melchizedek.
The non-Jew Melchizedek who was the first one to say it. Oy vey. Nothing wrong with that, but it's very interesting. That is, sometimes it may be the outsider who says Baruch Hashem and recognizes God's hand is inside of something. And perhaps we who are the players inside of it may not see it as clearly. Whether the outsider is Jewish or non-Jewish doesn't matter, as long as his eyes are open and he sees it and he says that. An interesting thought that I had earlier this morning was that there was an old man, when I used to ask him how he felt, he would always answer in Yiddish, Mitornish Zindekin. So the one Yiddish speaker understands and says Mitornish Zindekin is?
Shouldn't be sinful.
You shouldn't be sinful. What do you mean? How are you feeling? You shouldn't be sinful. That's true, you shouldn't be sinful. No, he said what he meant by that was, Mitornish Zindekin is that you thank God for everything. And if you complain about your state or something like that, so in fact you're really sinning, because after all, you're alive, you're this, you're that. There's so many blessings that we have that we're supposed to thank God for everything. Mitornish Zindekin, don't sin and complain. I had a Rebbe who one time wanted to be very cute, and he asked the boy, how are you feeling today? So the boy said, Baruch Hashem. Good frum answer, thank God. So he said, yes, 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 but how do you feel? I know you're religious, that you say thank God for everything. Baruch Hashem good, or Baruch Hashem could be better, or something like that. A good day to everyone. Everyone should feel good 100% and feel good in all the things that we do. Baruch Hashem.